Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality with the best hair. And I hate to bring it up, but while the Patreon campaign has been going very well, there's still a long way to go before securing Gamerathon 3 in Japan.
Decker, we have to talk.
Hey, Creepy, did you come up with any of those higher reward levels for me?
I was under the impression that that was your job, but no. Do you realize what it is you're getting into?
We already launched the campaign. Yeah, it sucks begging for money, but the goal is worth it.
Not that part. Have you considered the possibility that this fundraiser might actually work?
I doubt he realizes there's a chance it actually won't.
Most likely, but in any case, I'm worried you'll be in for a bit of culture shock when we reach Japan.
Oh, don't worry. Today's review is Memoirs of a Geisha.
What? How would that even fit in with your usual genres?
Horror, obviously.
Hey, I want to immerse myself in the culture just as much as the rest of them.
That will work as well as drinking whiskey in March to make yourself Irish.
See? It's perfect!
You aren't reviewing that.
The hell are you talking about? What else is more Japanese?
You asked for it. Edition! Oh, and we're reviewing Cutie Honey. The 2004 live-action Cutie Honey film, directed by Hideaki Anno and produced by Gainax, was based on the popular series of the same name. The Cutie Honey franchise began as a manga 41 years prior and as a television series, which aired at the same time. Despite all this Cutie Honey media coming from every direction, it seems the 2004 live-action film is the only feature-length Cutie Honey movie produced, live-action or otherwise.
Oh, thank fuck you put pants on again. Now, hold on a minute, but how the hell is a film adaptation of a manga/anime series supposed to teach me more about Japan than geisha?
Because Minako Iwasaki, a geisha that was interviewed by the author of the book that Memoirs of a Geisha was based on, sued author Golden for defamation of character and breach of contract on the grounds that Golden had taken the information she'd given him out of context. Therefore, I cannot consider Geisha to be a highly reliable film as far as reference material goes.
Well, I guess that's true, but never mind. What is this Cutie Honey movie about, anyway?
Cutie Honey tells, or rather retells, the story of Honey Kisaragi, a young woman brought back to life as an android superhero with the power of science by her father. Honey swears vengeance against the Panther Claw Syndicate, who was responsible for her father's death.
Wait. Robot women fighting crime syndicates with superpowers in a revenge plot is supposed to be preparing me for Japan?
Yup.
Okay, now I'm starting to get second thoughts.
The Patreon launched weeks ago. The cat's out of the bag and you can't go back now, so educate yourself.
Fine. It doesn't sound too bad. Let's take a look at Cutie Honey and see just what Japan has to offer.
I warn you, there may be some Japanese people watching right now who have taken serious offense to that.
The film opens to a cameo of Jonesy, and then... 5 out of 5. Best movie ever.
What? You haven't even reached the 1 minute mark. You're dropping a rating on this review already?
Yes.
Take consolation in the fact that we both know this is going to backfire horribly on him soon.
This is Honey, played by Eriko Sato, who gets a call from her uncle conveniently right before a group of thugs happen to attack him, so she's off to the rescue.
Honey! Flash!
It would be a nice flash if that towel didn't materialize out of thin air.
So the film has dropped to a 4, you mean? Her transformation doesn't work as she is low on non-specific energy. The fact that she doesn't actually own any clothes at all forces her to don a trash bag as an outfit, despite the fact that it covers less of her than the towel did.
Okay, this is a fetish I don't have, so we can move on from here.
No, Decker. She gets energy from eating.
Oh, just like, everyone.
Score 1 for mundane character traits.
Therefore, she can do a proper honey flash, summoning a motorcycle from the same dimension as the inconvenient towel. She's not the only one who's coming to help Uncle, though, as the entire Japanese police force arrived, multiplied by 3, including Natsuko Aki, played by Mikako Ichikawa.
博士を解放して直ちに投降しなさい。この状況で逃げられると思ってんの？
Considering how over the top everything already is, I'm assuming the villain is similarly outrageous.
You could say that.
Despite all that build-up, this is still quite shocking.
This scene introduces us to Gold Claw, played by Hari Katagiri. She provides the organization with gold weapons, despite how illogical, impractical, and honestly detrimental that would be. Not to say that they do any better with steel weapons, as her minions somehow manage to let Aki slip away, killing themselves instead.
You have to appreciate the devotion to their orders, though. Yes, continue firing into each other's chests despite your target being 30 feet away.
The zaniness continues as the professor is easily saved, and we learn that the bad guys are incredibly adhesive in this world. The professor is just as easily recaptured, but it turns out they got the wrong guy.
ということは薄木博士ではないの。気づくのが遅くてよ、パンサークロー。
Don't blame her. They were using the same actor for both people before this shot.
So, I take it one of Honey's superpowers is being able to mimic anybody.
Actually, no. She just has amazing wardrobe swap abilities. Which, in the movie, only rarely requires the huge fanfare animation of her getting butt naked to switch in and out of costumes.
愛の戦士キューティーハニーか。
What in the fuck?
Not what you were expecting?
You tell me, what in the hell happened where this would have been a logical transition?
LSD?
Whatever it was, it's over for now, I think. Cutie takes on the remaining Panther Claw grunts in various extreme styles, but doesn't do quite so well against Gold Claw herself.
And now your claim of having the best hair seems rather pathetic.
Oh, don't give me that. Her hair is CGI. What the hell am I supposed to do?
Condition?
Gold Claw follows this up with making the entire set explode! But not Honey, even though she was standing there for most of the chaos, not even trying to dodge. Somehow, amidst all this, she manages to nab the professor as well.
Inspector Gadget called. Actually, I lied. It was his lawyer.
Which I suppose sets up our big conflict for this movie. Or not.
おじさま。
Oh, it's the horrible guilt of being responsible for your uncle's death, then.
大丈夫。気を失ってるだけです。
よかった。
And the guilt of having mangled his face and causing him to go insane and becoming the new villain.
No, it's just a quick and exciting way to introduce the audience to the characters and the world.
Well, that might be the case, but couldn't they have done it in a way that was a little more subtle?
Subtlety doesn't exist in this universe.
This act of heroism leads to Cutie Honey's arrest, and the abrupt introduction of Jun Murakami, playing the role of Seiji Hayami. Just as quickly, he is arrested, and Cutie escapes her bonds because she's late for work.
Wait, work? She's a super advanced android superhero fetish doll. The hell does she need a day job for?
That much onigiri isn't going to pay for itself, you know.
Already? After that pile she had this morning? This woman eats almost as much as I do. However, while the first 10 minutes might be a good introduction for the characters and world, it doesn't do much at all for preparing the viewer for the movie. Most of the meat is really slow, dull, and not particularly important to the plot. The rest is watching Cutie in her underwear, which,
おじさまに連絡しとかないと。
is really indispensable. Amazing cinematography. Direction.
The police are about as observant as Decker, as Honey's uncle is kidnapped by the Panther Claw yet again while off screen. In addition to taking the professor, Panther Claw is responsible for the disappearance of numerous women across Japan. After a short, incredibly fruitless investigation, Honey runs right into Seiji yet again. He happens to know she is Cutie Honey and about the eye system, but this isn't incredibly scary stalker territory as he is a journalist. A journalist who knows the ins and outs of her father's secret research into nanomachines, which is why the Panther Claw is after her, why her father was murdered, and why Panther Claw have now kidnapped her uncle.
Huh?
The nanomachines. The eye system. It's one of the main plot points in the...
No. That. Are they riding segways?
Yeah, but the important thing is that her uncle is...
Fucking segways!
Wow. There was something in this movie that distracted Decker besides Eriko Sato's boobs.
Anyway, we are then introduced to the big bad of this movie, Sister Jill.
Oh, Sister Jill, such a glorious beauty. We live to serve you.
The fuck is this?
Oh, you know what this is.
I do? It came out of nowhere!
It is strange, even in the context of the film.
And it will never be mentioned again? Huh. You mean...
That's right, a blue-thonged gay stripper moment.
Creepy! Can't you use big-lipped alligator moments like everybody else?
They're trademarked. Besides, what are you complaining about? You named the blue-thonged gay stripper moment.
I didn't name it, I just blurted out what it was! After that ends, we are introduced to Eisuke Saikai as Sister Jill, and her butler, played by Toru Tezuka. After another abrupt cut from this, we cut back to meet the rest of Team Evil, Black Claw, Cobalt Claw, and Scarlet Claw.
Gold Claw!
Oh, and she's still alive.
After Honey's uncle survived a faceplant on concrete, did you really expect water to take her out?
Considering she's got how many pounds of metal strapped to her? Yes!
Following all of this, the interesting characters begin to invade mundane land, as Natsuko swings by Honey's workplace for further questioning, but is interrupted by a freakish nightmare crawling around on the ceiling. You have a gun, Natsuko, and Honey has superpowers. Why are the two of you running away when you could fight back?
Maybe they're running to wherever the director left the plot for this movie.
We should be so fortunate.
Escaping into the elevator, the two naturally forget to look up before closing the doors.
Hold on now. I like where this is going, but I don't think I'm allowed to show stuff like this on Blip.
It's not that kind of a movie, Decker. Just another example that your hair is a lot less impressive than you think.
Most women don't like when I tie them up with it. As the situation is dire, Honey transforms right in front of Natsuko, revealing her secret, as well as some cleavage. She doesn't do too well combat-wise, but fortunately her frustration reaches a boiling point. Quite literally.
Fortunately, Seiji saves her from overheating.
And he's a pervert. Not doing all that much to improve his image.
That's a bold statement coming from you, Decker.
He leaves the scene before things get too uncomfortable. Instead of arresting Honey, though, Aki-san takes her home to recover. However, annoyed at her daring to use the eye system to revive her garden of dead flowers, Natsuko shuns her, so we get to feel sorry for Honey the outcast. She walks along the streets of Japan as sad music plays, and nobody bothers to notice her no matter how many times she changes outfits during this one scene.
I feel like this should be a drinking game where you take a shot every time another unique fetish appears.
I'd rather you not suffer alcohol poisoning.
I'd rather he did. Come on, Decker. I'll get the scotch.
Moving on, we find ourselves at the residence of that newsboy-capped creepy guy who has invited Natsuko over for a surprise stalker-esque date as he already happens to know all her favorite things.
こうして黙って尽くす男の気持ちも分かってほしいよな。
Bad touch. Bad touch.
In a nanosecond, she warms up to him, which is a hint that this will be unfortunately spoiled when Honey shows up out of the blue. Not that this scene gets any more comfortable, as Honey wastes no time getting shit-faced and annoying Natsuko. Then she starts drinking heavily, with no concern whatsoever as to how this degenerate will react to having two beautiful and severely inebriated women in his home.
I know just what I would get up to.
ねえカラオケないのカラオケ
カラオケ
Karaoke.
You know what this means! Another blue-thonged gay stripper moment.
Hey, hold up. There was something leading into this, as strange as it was. And this scene is important.
How so?
カラオケ
This is proof that I was right all these years and it is not pronounced karaoke.
You hold some pretty strange grudges.
He was angry for over a year that you kidnapped him. This comes as a shock to you?
As the investigation strangely didn't progress during their drunken screaming fit, a random Skype call gets... Oh. This director really knows his angles.
It's a good thing I already packed the leash.
It turns out that Toru Tezuka's Skype program can call every computer, cell phone, and television set in the city. Fuck, I want to know where he downloaded that program from.
Focus, Decker. Tezuka invites Honey, Natsuko, and Seiji to the climactic battle, which will be held at Jill Tower.
3名様ご招待だったな。
Now, it's a cheesy movie about a ditzy girl running around mostly naked, but what the hell are the invitations for? I mean, what were they going to do? Get her to the checkpoint and then oh, she doesn't have it, so oh well, roll credits.
Decker, I must tell you that while the movie shows Honey being as smart as you are, basically, in the comics and anime, she was actually pretty bright and sassy.
I wasn't really familiar with the source material. Did it really change that much?
I've been holding back a seething rage for the past 10 minutes. Oh yes, it did. As the climax party requires formal attire, we get a scene of Natsuko and Honey doing their hair and having a fair amount of girl talk.
あれこれ銅入ってない伊達じゃん伊達うるさいわね
You know, just to derail any kind of excitement you might have at the thought of an actual fight scene.
Or an insanely choreographed CGI fight scene.
To further add to our disappointment, Sister Jill decides to kill Goldclaw due to her failure in the opening.
What?
She failed. She had to be punished.
So what? Why now?
It's to establish how ruthless Sister Jill is.
Because clearly the hundreds of kidnapped women being fed to her isn't enough to establish that.
No. Plot-wise, what was the point? Goldclaw should have died in the opening, but didn't, and then did nothing for an hour, and then died. In a scene that makes slightly more sense, we learn that Jill Tower was in fact beneath Tokyo Tower all along, and very impressive in terms of structural stability. They also somehow turned Honey's uncle into a kaiju, because... creepy?
Just go with it. It's time for the big gauntlet of challenges.
What?
Again, just go with it. Incoming fight scenes, remember?
Sproing?
Honey does fairly well against Scarlet Claw, and I finally have visual confirmation in this scene that, yes, Scarlet Claw is female.
Don't make transgender jokes in front of me, Decker. You will not like the consequences.
I'm not! I seriously couldn't tell because the actress playing her was cast in shadow for most of the film.
You know, the more you two argue, the longer this review will go on for.
I hate it when he's right. Carry on.
Honey delivers a swing strike against Scarlet Claw, forcing her to retreat. Before Scarlet Claw can make it back up to the tower, she runs into Black Claw.
無粋な。
What is with this organization taking out its own members over minor setbacks?
It's to illustrate that they are evil and dedicated to Sister Jill. Failure was never tolerated in the Panther Claw organization.
Well, how can this organization stay afloat or even accomplish anything when the members keep offing each other just to prove a point? This means that Honey must now do battle with Black Claw, the last surviving general of Sister Jill, and therefore the most powerful.
Before the battle can commence, though,
戦いそれは究極の喜び我が武力の前に
Know what this means again, right, Decker?
強きさ
Not even the characters know how to react to that.
Black Claw puts up a much better fight, giving Honey a serious run for her money. At the last second, however, when all hope seems lost, Honey delivers her surprise finishing move.
Oh, come on, that was a cheap shot.
He was on top of her, Decker, and about to kill her.
Yeah, but she's supposed to be the hero of this story.
Life or death situations trump fair play, especially when the villain wastes several minutes of the movie performing a song and dance routine.
I guess you have a point. Meanwhile, at the base of the tower, Seiji frees all the remaining kidnapped women using a special anti-nanomachine device. Seiji then spots Natsuko, who is making her way up the tower on her own.
And at long last, we come to our big showdown between the heroine and villain.
このお方が代わりに
About freaking time.
Honey agrees to give up her own life to Sister Jill in exchange for Natsuko and Uncle's freedom. Seiji arrives too late and must watch alongside Natsuko as Honey is absorbed into Sister Jill's body, granting the otherworldly being the immortality that she has craved for so long.
Wait, Sister Jill was trying to become immortal?
Right, that's what the kidnapped women were for. Sister Jill fed off them to extend her lifespan, but the eye system inside of Honey would render that frivolous.
分野あんた銃持ってないの
これだ弾は一発
それで十分
Ah, the one-shot left trope.
I'm afraid so. Honey convinces Sister Jill to renounce her evil ways by embracing the concept of love, causing the ambiguous plant creature to be reborn as a tiny seedling.
Okay, I'm all for love or friendship, whatever, but this is the power of love being used in a literal context.
This is a movie where people have burst into random song and dance numbers a total of 3 times.
If you're looking for logic, it's not to be found in this film, Decker.
As Honey prepares to depart with Natsuko and Seiji, Tezuka warns Honey that, being immortal, she will one day face the same solitude and loneliness as Sister Jill. Oh, that salt water can't be good for the seedling.
Never mind that, Decker. The movie's nearly over.
Really? Fuck that noise then, let's move on.
The tale concludes with Seiji's identity as a secret NSA agent being revealed. Despite this, he, Natsuko, Honey, and Natsuko's 2 bumbling sidekick cop friends decide to open a PI company together.
ハニー何やってんのよ早く来なさいよこっちこっち
She had to wait for them to call her over? I have to say, while the movie wasn't particularly good, it was at least entertaining. The most glaring flaws are the pacing and pointless scenes that go nowhere. As it was stated before, much of the meat of this film consists of wacky hijinks that do nothing to add to the plot. That, combined with the random song and dance numbers, meant that I spent most of my time watching this film in a state of confusion.
I actually agree with you 100% for once, Decker. The pacing is the second most grating flaw, and a number of scenes following the action-packed intro do little for the plot. However, by contrast, some of the same pointless scenes are the most entertaining aspects of the movie. Do they make any sense or contribute to the story? No. But they are great scenes by themselves that gave me a good laugh.
I'll concede to that, reluctantly. Overlooking those aspects, the movie is a high-octane cheese-whiz action flick with a science fiction twist, all things I love. What action we do see is so gratuitous and over-the-top that it's impossible for me not to enjoy. Had there been more of that, I might be willing to forgive the film's failings, but for the entertainment value that we got, the live-action Cutie Honey film rates 3 exploding skyscrapers out of 5.
I'm actually a bit more critical toward this movie. It can be entertaining, but the biggest failing for my money came in the form of the protagonist. I don't blame Eriko Sato for this, but in the anime and manga, Honey was a completely different character. She could be snarky and funny, but also quick-witted and intelligent. She was clever and down-to-earth when she wasn't battling evil, not a dumb pink-haired bimbo. Had we seen that type of Honey in this film, I would be more forgiving, but Cutie Honey for me falls down to 2 hymnals to Sister Jill out of 5. Granted, it's a high 2. Had this film showcased the Honey that I was more familiar with, it would have gone up to at least a 3.
That's fair enough, I guess. Thank you all for watching. I've been Shado, and remember...
That's it?
What's it?
You survive one cheesy, bad action movie from Japan and think this is over? We've still got 6 more months left to plug the Patreon account.
I know, I was just about to remind people to donate when you interrupted.
We have barely scratched the surface of Japanese entertainment, Decker. If you're going to survive what Japan has to offer, we have to prepare for every conceivable outcome.
So in honor of that, and in the hopes that this Patreon campaign actually does something, Decker and I will review at least one Japanese-themed film per month leading up to the big crossover in October.
Hey, hold on just a fucking second, this is my show, don't I get a say in any of this?
You started this whole mess without asking for my permission, so I'd say no.
May not have planned this as well as I thought. Thank you all for watching. I've been Shado, and remember, be very careful what projects you decide to involve creepy in.
初めて入った男の部屋で一晩貸して二日酔い。ああ、最低だわ。
ああ、なんて不知だらな。
勝手に人のモノローグに追加しないでよ。
Because I only